Hey guys, so this is my part 2 of my dark shadow drawing, dark shadow, not drawing, but the prop that I was making. I do apologize, there's some clips that are a bit like messed up, so yeah, they don't look that good. It's like it keeps pausing randomly, so I do apologize. I was using a different editor at the time, and I think it got messed up somehow, and so it kept doing this glitch. But these are the only files that I have saved up for this video, so I ended up having to use it. So yeah, so basically this is the claw thing. I actually went to I looked on YouTube to find these origami claws. These are actually dragon claws that someone made and folded as a tutorial, but I decided to use them for dark shadow because I thought they were pretty nice and big. There are other claws where it's just like you make one of these and that's basically it, but I thought it would be too small. So yeah, so ended up going for this. It's a 2 pieces that you have to fold, and I think they were all like half a paper each, like a printer paper. So yeah. Um to be honest, this part was like super tedious just because I had to do 10 in total, but there's like 2 pieces each, which is like 20 pieces in total when you think about it. So yeah. Um So my whole concept was that one of the claws was gonna be you would put it on your hand, so that way it's like Dark Shadow is on his arm is on your arm, and then the other one was going to be I'm going to make an arm, and then I'm going to attach those claws to it, so that way he has like one arm, and that's like his own. So yeah. My next video is going to be showing the process of the arm, but to be honest, I wasn't too happy with that one, but I decided to revise and review my videos and then just upload the videos anyways, since I took my time to actually make this prop. Even though it didn't turn out 100% the way that I wanted it, I still wanted to show it because I took all the videos and footage and all of my time to make it. So yeah. Basically, I'm just showing you guys how it's folded, but there are tutorials out there if you want to search up like origami dragon claws on YouTube. There's literally actual tutorials. I don't count myself as like a tutorial maker, so yeah. So I keep doing hand signals to the camera to say, okay, I'm on which claw and stuff like that. But yeah. Overall, this is one of the easier origami things. I used to actually do origami a lot as a kid, but my main thing that I would make is paper cranes. I remember we had this project for like making 100 paper cranes, and then I got really good at folding them. It's been a while, so I actually don't remember how to fold certain things anymore. But yeah. I it's funny because technically paper cranes are like an intermediate level of folding, but they're super easy once you get the hang of them. But I couldn't really fold anything else. The only thing that I recently folded within the years are like these origami flowers. Um but I still need to go back and watch tutorials every time I do like something that's origami related, just because I typically don't do much origami anymore. I think in the end, I ended up filming like me folding all 5 claws. But yeah, so I'm on number 3 now, apparently. Um, my camera doesn't like to focus whenever I do so much movement. I haven't played around with the settings of my video settings for my tablet, to be honest, so that's why it probably keeps unfocusing and focusing every single time I make like the smallest movement. But yeah. After doing like a couple of these, to be honest, I got the hang of it. Like you kind of memorize how they're made within the day. But if I were to fold them again, I would need to go look at a tutorial again because it's been way too long. Um, I like these. These ones were easy. There was another pair of origami claws that were like long and big too, but they were kind of thinner and I really didn't like them for some reason. I just didn't like them and I don't think it would fit dark shadows, so I think this was a better option. There's so many different types of claws you can fold with origami though, so yeah. I don't have like origami paper though, which is something that I really kind of wanted, or you know what, I should have had like black construction paper at least so that way I didn't have to paint it, but I didn't have any tools like that, so I ended up using printer paper, which is fine because a lot of tutorials they tell you what paper size to use, which is pretty good. um, but I haven't studied the different sizes of paper, to be honest, so I don't know. Like when they say A5 paper and A4 paper, there's different sizes and stuff, but I haven't like looked into that. But it seemed like I think this printer paper was good enough for it. To be fairly honest, I don't know why I decided to film the whole process of making five claws because it's just the same thing over and over again. I think I was really excited at the time. Normally that's how I get when it comes to making arts and crafts, even though I'm not really great at it. I think I get too excited. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna finish this within a day, but it actually takes like a time span that's like longer than a day. So yeah, but I was just super excited, so I ended up doing this pretty fast. These are comfortable to wear. These claws, they're like comfortable to wear, but my hands get sweaty easily, so it's really difficult for me to like constantly wear something like that. But yeah, you can notice the footage kind of pauses randomly at moments because this I think a lot of the files um that I have that I converted from the other app, it's another video editor. I think a lot of them got corrupted. I'm not sure why that one kept glitching out, and then I decided to switch to this one instead, the one that I'm using currently. It's I think called UCut or something, but it's basically the same thing, except for this one I decided to pay a yearly fee, which is only like 4 or 5.99, which is not that expensive for a year. But I think it's much better, so that way I don't have to deal with like ads and stuff. If you don't pay, you have to deal with ads, and it takes way longer to convert everything. To be honest, the claws are my favorite part that I made just because they look super cool. They turned out the way that I wanted. Some of the parts, like the body, which I said it was gonna be a 3-part video, but when I look at it, I already have like 3 videos that I'm going through and doing like voiceovers for. And then there's one more thing for like the body, which I didn't even make like a whole compilation of the clips that I have for it. So I think there's gonna be 4 actually. So yeah, but going through all of them, there's like different things that, like, originally I did have voiceovers on them already, but I kind of wanted to change it up just because it's like now I get to look back and see how the process is actually, instead of just whatever I said, cuz sometimes it's a bit like I don't know, jumbled, like when it comes to like talking about something on the spot, like because I was rushing through it rather than just sitting back watching the video and seeing what like happens in the video. So yeah. It's kind of easy. You just fold like basically a triangle and then you wrap around one edge to itself and then you just stick it like that. Technically I could have used glue on these, but I decided not to. That's just me. I wanted to show you guys like what they look like on the hand. So that's one whole hand down. And off camera I did make the other set, so that's why I'm showing you guys how it looks on both hands. But one set will be glued onto like a paper mache arm that I made, which will be shown in a different video, not this one of course, because the process for this one was pretty long too. It's hard to pick up stuff when you're wearing like these because it's like extended. Um, so yeah. But they look super cool. I would say if you wanted to make a cosplay with like some armor pieces and you didn't have and you had like a certain budget, you could definitely do origami claws like this because they look really nice. So because I didn't have black construction paper or origami paper, I ended up having to paint these. I think my original mistake was trying to paint them on my finger because I didn't have any stand of sorts to help keep it dry. You'll notice by the end of this, I put them on like actual paper and just laid them there and then let them dry from there instead of holding them for hours and hoping that they would dry. Another mistake is trying to see if the paint would dry like in between both parts of the claws, so that way they could stick together instead of trying to glue them. At the end of it, they did break off, so I actually had to pull apart both parts for all 10 of the claws and glue them onto each other with actual glue instead of hoping that the paint would keep it on because it was super weak. When the paint dried, it did not like hold still. I think I was being lazy at the time, to be honest, so that was a horrible like shortcut that I was trying to take. Um, Definitely if you just want them to stay on each other for like forever, just make sure you glue them on each other, like both parts. It was hard getting into the little crevices, like the folds of the paper, because some of the paper is overlapping itself. So I tried my best to do that. Some parts you could see, like, by the time it dries at the end of this video, you can see like a little bit of the white marks of the paper, just because I didn't completely get into all of those spots. I tried to water down the paint, but at the end, because it was white paper, I didn't really try too much just because it was like just a solid white. So I thought it would be okay to just paint it one coat of black and it would be fine. Because the paper was folded onto itself, I don't think the paper got warped in any way. If it was just paper itself, it probably would get warped if you like painted on it, and a little crinkly and stuff like that, just because the way paint dries. But overall, it's pretty sturdy. Like, they don't seem to be affected by it. My only thing is, I'm not sure if I'm going to actually buy a Tokoyami cosplay, just because there's so many other ones that I wanted to buy, and I haven't even gotten around to it. And recently I've just been like struggling to keep up with my budget. So this whole time, like, I made this prop, but at the end of the day, I might not use it for a long while, just because there's so many other things that I want to do. Um, but because of the quarantining and everything, um, within the past year, like last year, to be honest, there was no like wearing cosplays that much. Honestly, I would buy cosplays and then I just wear them like once in a while at home, and that was basically it. Um, Also, because I bought a lot in the summer too, I have to say it's like super warm in my house and we don't have air conditioning, so it's really bad. So I ended up not wearing the cosplays like at home for fun. I got paint all over my hands while doing this. I was getting a bit sloppy by the end of it because my fingers were pretty tired from like trying to hold these. I wish I had like an actual like stick or something that they could just hang off of and dry, but I didn't, so I just basically used my fingers for it. And I think this is the last one that I'm showing. Basically, I wanted to show half of the process and then the other half I would do like off camera, just because it's the same thing. It's all repetitive. To be honest, I could have just filmed like one, but since I have this footage of all five fingers, all five claws, I thought it's fine. I'll just keep this in the video. And it's almost done. So yeah, so that's how I basically dried them. I just kept them on paper. Of course, I realized that the second part didn't stick on properly for each one of them, but that was until later. They did feel pretty weak when I was holding them like that, to be honest, but I still wanted to show it on my fingers so that way you guys could see. This part, I have to say, for the most part, I was super happy about the claws. The other stuff though, like when I made the head in my first video and then the body and the arms, I kind of wasn't too happy with it. That's why I kind of tried to scrap the idea and not make a video about it. And I ended up just keeping the footage but not uploading it. So yeah, but I think it's time to just upload it because I spent time on it and I'm still keeping it anyway. So yeah, you can kind of see some white parts on the claws, but overall they're still good. The painting is a little uneven because I'm like, yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye!